Welcome to the Alpha Males podcast. Bang, bang.
Bang, bang.
So today is, this was a bad idea. Today is our first in-person podcast. Look at it. I can
Touched your own.
Wow. We can't touch each other though, because Moana and all that.
Yeah.
We can also.
Yeah, we have that. You don't have one.
We're being safe. I promise, guys.
Yeah.
But
We play games for a living.
but we can finally be in person.
Yeah. We've done a couple of things today. I guess we can talk about. We made a skit. That was fun.
We did make a skit. And I think later today we might be dropping something else for Giraffe Gang channel. Look for it. Look for
Still
it.
not existed.
But it will probably exist.
But this is something I've wanted to do for a while. In-person podcast.
Yeah.
Because I listen, and so does Sean, to the Bad Friends podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And they, for Rona, tried to do a not in-person podcast and didn't upload it because they said it was so bad. And I was like, if ours is already the best podcast in the world,
already at the top.
What's it going to be like when we're in person?
Imagine how far we'll fall.
Yeah. This is audio
chance.
Listeners, nothing's changed.
No,
Maybe
this
the
is
audio
just
sounds better or worse.
Come and watch the podcast.
Alpha Males podcast channel.
On the channel. This is a good place to start because we're in person.
Yeah.
Right? And our dynamic totally works.
Totally
or better.
Funny.
Funny. That's the word.
Yeah.
When we're together.
Yeah.
But today we're going to be talking all about movies and media and video games. Probably should have just said media.
Movies,
we have
media,
consumed...
magazines that have made us cry.
That made us cry. It has made little men sweats out the eyes. Doesn't happen very often.
I've never cried.
Literally never.
End of the podcast.
This is a good one, guys. First in-person podcast.
But yeah,
But I honestly, we've spoken about this a couple times now. I didn't think very much about it beforehand before coming in.
I have thought so hard about it, but
kind of polar opposites in that regard.
But I couldn't remember.
You're blanking out now.
Literally.
Right.
No, the whole week or however long we've had this idea.
Yeah.
I could not come up with many.
Okay.
I've been
give me one.
about
Give
it.
me one.
So we were talking about, he got Disney Plus for a month, and I recommended Coco. Because Coco made me cry.
Coco Melon.
Yeah.
No,
and actually
they made
YouTube,
me cry because PewDiePie.
YouTube, we'd not talk about them.
Oh yeah, you're right.
But that movie made me cry, but Sean hasn't finished it, so I can't talk about why. You know what made me cry recently?
What?
Or tear up, not full-blown cry?
Mm-hmm.
The finale of WandaVision.
Yeah.
Which we won't talk about because spoilers.
Yeah, we won't give too many spoilers.
But
too many. We'll give some.
All of them. All of them. But yeah, no. It's emotional.
Yeah.
It's
very
so sad. I hated it. But I loved it. It's a good ending.
It was really good. That is kind of a spoiler. WandaVision is sad at the end.
I'm so sorry, audio listeners only.
Also, I'm going to preface real quick. For the other forms of media that we talk about, we might spoil. I'm just going to say that now because those things are most likely older. Things that we've spoken about.
If it's something that came out last Friday, maybe.
Yeah.
Then
that's been long enough. You've had a week.
Yeah.
All right. You've had 3 days.
No.
Say Sunday. You've had 2 days.
No. This will come out on Saturday.
You're right.
You've had
1 day.
No, next Saturday. But yeah, no, spoilers except for WandaVision.
Spoilers.
Only WandaVision.
Most of these are going to be over a year long. If you haven't watched it,
That's
sorry.
Your problem.
Okay,
we
might name it
issue.
before we spoil it. Then just turn off the video.
No,
go watch it and come back. Well,
Yeah.
pause the video. Go watch the other thing and then come back.
Or no, leave the video running in the background.
Mute
and
it.
Then rewatch
Remember
it.
the spot that you were at. Go back. Rewatch it.
From the
that way
beginning.
we get the watch time.
Yeah.
All right.
But yeah.
So yeah, WandaVision was really sad at the end. I also cried at multiple points during that. Or at least I teared up.
I feel like the MCU has done that a lot to me though.
Yeah.
I'm Infinity War, Endgame, both of them got me.
Yeah.
Infinity War, literally the snap I didn't care about until Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh
Oh
no,
no,
my
Spidey.
boy!
Yeah.
Look how they massacred
No,
my
I felt the
boy.
same way.
But then spoiler alert: Iron Man dying.
Yeah.
That was really sad. And then the
Yeah.
whole end with the funeral. Just
Mhm.
they made it really sad.
That
Like
was
Captain America
really sad.
leaving, it was like, I lived good life. I
Mhm.
am happy. And then it's like Iron Man dead. So
Yeah.
very emotional.
Yeah, it was very emotional. I will say I don't think that made me cry. I think that I was sad.
Yeah.
Especially just knowing that I'm not gonna get to see them on screen again in
Yeah,
part.
yeah.
But I don't think that I cried at those particular parts, which is kind of odd because I was pretty invested in those
Yeah.
characters.
Another one in the MCU is Spider-Man Far From Home, the second Spider-Man movie.
Mhm.
And it was just for a little bit, it was the part where like they're flying in the Quinjet, Happy and Peter is like making his suit with Stark
Yeah.
technology, and then Happy looks back and goes, I got the music. And then it's like he looks back at and it's like exactly what he did with Tony like
Mhm.
10 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's so sad. Like,
Just a little homage thrown in there to make
yeah,
you.
yeah. And then Peter said they played AC/DC, and he's like, "I love Led Zeppelin." And then it's like, silly kid, it's not Led Zeppelin. That's
Yeah.
AC/DC.
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 Oh, millennials. Or
Gen
Gen
Z.
Zers. Or what's next? Gen Zingers.
Aha! Wahaha! Ha cha cha! We got jokes. Um,
Do you get so crying in media, right? Is it always sad things for you? Because I cry at happy things too, I think.
yeah, I get happy
I get
things,
pretty
especially
emotional
when it
too.
involves like kids
Yeah?
and they like something good happens to them. I think that gets me a lot.
Okay.
Um, the problem is, I don't know if you follow along with this Alpha Male podcast.
You
We
better
have
be.
bad memories. And I like more speaking about it, more popping in my head and then leaving.
Yeah.
One, we listened to the song today, Your Song by Elton John, sometimes will get me.
Hmm.
It's a very nice song, very
Hmm.
happy. It's not very sad.
Yeah,
It's the world's good because you're in it.
right.
And then I'm like, who
Do
take you,
you
Mr. John?
cry largely because of the lyrics, or is it like just the score itself that
I
kind of
think
gets you
it's the
emotional?
lyric for that song.
Okay. All right.
But
I feel
like,
like whenever I discover a new genre that I'm like, I haven't heard this before, and it's so darn good, I tear up.
yeah, yeah.
Uh,
I cannot remember a video game that has made me cry.
none?
Maybe Assassin's Creed.
Really? Which one?
Um, Odyssey, when Phoebe died
Yeah, yeah. When that girl dies in
in
Origins.
Origins, the little
Yeah.
girl.
There's a spoilers. This is a side quest in Origins
It's not a side quest.
where
It happens.
it is a main quest. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
It feels almost like a
It
side quest because it
feels
just happens so out of nowhere. But
yeah.
you meet this girl, that's the daughter of somebody that you need to
A
help.
friend or something. Yeah.
And you get like attached in like 5 minutes to this little girl.
The writing for her is so well done.
It's really good.
And all you're doing is like scouting out her house because like soldiers have taken
Right.
it over. And what does she want? Like her toys or something?
Mhm.
Something like that. And like you just have like this fun little self mission. And
Yeah.
Bayek is so good with kids.
He is.
Bayek, I stand Bayek, we all know.
Stand by it.
He's like he's so good.
Yeah.
And just their interactions is so nice. And then it just goes like on and you're like, we did it. And then I remember thinking playing this mission like if they killed this little girl,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be mad because I just came out of Odyssey.
Yep.
And Odyssey they killed Phoebe, which
They
was
love
also
killing
really
kids
sad.
in these franchises.
Me too. But
He didn't mean that. That was a joke, YouTube.
yeah, YouTube. Unless you mark this for kids, then like frick off, kids.
Frick off.
But yeah, then like later on, you have to find the little girl, and it turns out like they tied rocks to her ankles and threw her to the bottom of the
She
ocean.
drowned to death.
And they
It's
got
such
me.
a sad thing, and it all culminates together as well. Because if you don't know the story of Bayek and you don't care about spoilers, you should know already. But Bayek, at the beginning of the game, you find out that he had lost his son to somebody as well.
Yeah. which is why he goes on the
that
big
was so
quest.
emotional. And now it happens again.
Yeah.
They just repeat it.
Yeah.
And you feel that.
Yeah,
you
like,
really
I feel like
feel that.
When his son died, I felt really sad, but I didn't cry or anything because I was like, "Oh, this is so emotionally draining." But I'm not super attached.
They didn't
to the
give you
kid.
time to get attached to the kid.
They get you attached to the kid the more you do the story.
Yeah,
because they show like flashbacks and stuff.
They do, but then you knew the kid was dead.
Yeah,
the whole
by
time.
then like you're like, oh, okay, it's sad.
We're reminiscing on,
but the little girl like you're interacting with for a while, and then just dead,
and then they're just gone. And I will say as well for the son, actually some of the saddest parts for me, again, were like when I would find the star patterns and stuff, and you would point that out, and you just have the stories between them, because it's like, man, that is sad. That he's gone now, because Bayek's like teaching him lessons and doing all this different stuff.
And then another Origins is such a good game. I honestly want to play it again. I haven't even finished Valhalla. But like thinking about it, like I got really emotional when him and his wife like split up. Like they're like, we will love each other forever, but we need to go on our separate ways for our quest to better humanity. And like you're just sitting there like, no, you guys, you're so perfect. Stay together. And it's like, no, we won't. She goes to Rome. He stays in Egypt. Bayek deserves a second game, but he won't get one.
Come on, Ubisoft.
Not to make this Assassin's Creed podcast. The first
it always
podcast.
turns to that. If you haven't played those, and we spoiled everything just now, but play the game. All right, it's fantastic. Yeah.
You don't have to
at
play
least Origins. And I would recommend Valhalla. I would also recommend Odyssey, honestly, but out of the three, Valhalla, Origins.
And Origin for me, it's Origins, Valhalla, Odyssey.
Yeah, so you have like Black Flag in the middle.
And I haven't even played Black Flag.
Or AC3.
AC3.
Which everybody hates.
I love it though. Was there anything in AC3 that made me cry? Because I finished that fairly recently. It was like July 4th, I think.
Did you cry from Brasidas in Odyssey?
I think I was too in shock for Brasidas.
Yeah,
I got
that's
angry
what I felt as well.
I got angry for Phoebe. Now, I guess we can go into Odyssey. Phoebe is another little girl. In Odyssey, you start on this island, and then like there's this little girl there with you, and you're like her big brother or sister or something. Like that's what you act like at least. And then you go off, and then it turns out later on you find out she also left the island and is working for like this girl in Athens or something. And you're just sitting there. And so you're like, oh, let's go on a quest together or something. I don't remember it completely. Bad memory podcast, I think you remember. But all I remember is you find out that the villain, which we played as Alexios, so Cassandra was the villain, murders Phoebe.
In cold blood.
In cold blood, which is why Cassandra had to die.
She could survive.
No,
I let her survive.
Yeah, you can choose whether she dies.
I let her become a better person.
I murdered her in warm blood. Is that the opposite of cold blood?
I guess. I like in heated blood.
In heated blood, I killed her. But then for Brasidas, who's a soldier who you get really attached to because he's a good character, which maybe he's such a good character because Odyssey doesn't have a lot of good characters. Like it has some, but not a lot.
There's a few.
But he like also gets killed in Cassandra.
That's weird. I remember like a decent amount of characters from Origins, but Odyssey, I remember Phoebe, Marcos, kind of.
Marcos.
You didn't remember Marcos. The lady who was the bad guy, and then her husband who was a good guy.
He died.
And Brasidas. And I guess your dad?
I killed him too.
Brother-in-law. That's like it. Your mom. I don't remember her name. I care so little about her.
I mean, to be fair, you were saying the bad girl, the good guy.
In fairness, yeah, you're right.
But I mean, then again, I couldn't name a lot of people in Origins. I can't even remember his wife's name.
Actually, that's a good point. I love her. I love his wife. I like his wife. His wife is cool,
but I love him.
Remember her name.
I don't want to seem like I'm simping for her. I simp for him specifically.
Yeah, I guess they've broken up now, so I'm fine.
But no, they're not broken up.
I can slide into her DMs now.
But they're just separate.
That's true.
Separate.
Yeah. Yeah, but they're not like But they're also not going to be in a relationship ever again, right?
But aren't they like in a relationship? But they're like our relationship. We will be together in the afterlife. Like
I guess
they
maybe,
split up.
maybe.
They split up for the good of humanity,
Sure.
but they're still together.
Yeah. So once they're able to go back and be with their son, basically, they'll ultimately be together, sort of thing.
I mean, I guess maybe like
that's the hope of thing.
You know, for
the thing I'm
her,
hoping
maybe
for.
you can slide in for a little bit and just be like a side thing in the mortal world.
I'll be the side
thing.
man.
No.
But
Brasidas
so
does.
not to make this an Assassin's Creed podcast, but literally like half that was not things that made us cry. It's just talking, reminiscing about characters. But
Brasidas dying didn't make me cry.
No, just shocking.
It made me angry. It made me angrier than Phoebe dying because like
partly made me angry because it almost like trivialized his ability, because in that particular fight as well, it was just like a little tussle and then a spear ended up in his throat, and it's like I know it could go that way, but I feel like
I get they were showing how powerful Cassandra is, but
they could have showcased that though with the powers that she has later on. Like she at least could have used something interesting, but I guess
they didn't really want to make an Assassin's Creed game. You know?
That's true.
Not that this. So another thing that what else does make you cry? I'm whispering into the mic. Audio listeners,
guys, shh, don't listen. You should don't listen. So other things that have made me cry. I'm trying to think.
You can look at my DVD shelf if you guys can watch me do.
A lot of things that I'm nostalgic for, if I go back and I watch them, happy or sad, it doesn't really matter. Like for example, I went back for the first time in a very long time, and I watched Tom and Jerry,
which not is even just the new movie.
Huh? No, just an old episode cartoon that I remember watching.
Okay.
And I think the nostalgia just hit me like a wave. And, you know, Tom is like getting hit in the foot or something like that. And I'm like, this is so beautiful.
That's right.
I'm tearing up now.
Man. Yeah, I guess you know what gets me? Every time I go see a Star Wars movie, no matter if the Star Wars movie is good or not, the opening credits so you're sitting in the theater back before Corona existed, and it's all silent, the screen goes black, it says like written and stuff, and then it's black, and then ta-da, and the words appear of Star Wars. That gets me a lot. Like happiness. I'm like, it's one of the most like epic intros to like a movie.
It's very iconic. Like the moment you hear the score, you're like, "Oh, Star Wars!
Star Wars! I love it."
Yeah, good branding. Good job,
John Williams. But and then like we were listening to movie scores earlier, and one of them like today they didn't get me, but when I did it before, there was one song from a movie I've never seen. That got me sad. Like I was like, this is a little sad. They don't say any words. I just felt it.
It just comes from We were talking about this earlier, how amazing it is that with music, you're just able to draw emotion out of the people listening to it without any words. You can just do it in essence with the instruments that are there, and that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, you know what? But speaking that jogged my memory. Because I was thinking about what to say, and I had this like in my head to say, and then forgot it. Musicals.
Bad memories, guys. Musicals. They make you cry?
Hamilton.
Okay.
When that one song where his son dies. So sad.
Spoilers. Read a history book. I legit like rolled my eyes like I was mad there.
That one gets me. The musical Be More Chill, which I've just started listening to recently, really chill. Good. It's the one with the gamers. Remember the like
Gamers Unite?
At like the gamer song I shared. There's a song. It's called Michael in the Bathroom. It's about his one friend abandoning him, and he locks himself in a bathroom during a party because he was just by himself. That makes me emotional. And it's also genuinely one of the best songs in like in musicals that I've heard, but it's so sad.
Do you think that gets you because it's relatable, or is it just sad?
Both. I think it's relatable, but also it's a sad song.
Yeah.
And he also cries in it a little bit,
Okay.
Which triggers it.
It's like laughs. You laugh, somebody else will laugh.
Yeah,
you
like
cry,
we
other
say
people
something,
laugh.
you guys laugh.
Yeah.
Please.
Mm-hmm.
There was another musical. It's the Beetlejuice musical, because there's one song where she's like looking for her mom in the afterlife.
Okay.
And then she like gives up and she says like, Mama, I'm going home. I never want to lose you, but I don't want to be in the afterlife right now.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff like that.
Okay.
There's another song, another musical, one more, and then you know what song gets me?
Yeah.
NF's music sometimes. Like, well, the one where his mom dies. That one I cannot listen to.
Yeah, yeah.
I will cry.
I remember the first time I listened to that. That was so emotional. It was heavy.
Like there's a lot of NF songs. They're very emotional and they get me a lot.
And he's such a good storyteller, even in his raps, because it's like a 3-minute song.
Yeah.
And he gets you to understand his emotions so well, through both the words that he's spewing out and also his just his emotion, because you can hear him kind of crying and getting
in the
really sad
song about his mom dying, like he cries in the studio recording, because he can't get through it, and that gets me a lot. Also the musical Dear Evan Hansen. It's I shared one song with you. It's the one with the song like For Forever, and I said it like reminds me of us, because like it's very specific. But there's 2 songs in there that get me. Basically, the premise of Dear Evan Hansen, for audio listeners, video listeners, and Sean, is the kid Evan Hansen has like anxiety and depression, and he has to write letters to himself every day because his therapist says that's like a good thing to do. Like, Dear Evan Hansen, today is going to be a good day because, and he writes this letter to himself, and this class bully finds it and is like, I guess in the letter he writes like about how he likes a girl, and the girl is the class bully's sister, so he gets mad at him, but the class bully like steals the letter, and it's all like nice things about Evan. And then the class bully kills himself.
Man.
Yeah. And so the family finds the letter and thinks that him and Evan were secretly best friends. So Evan, he went to explain that they're not best friends, but the mom and dad were like, we thought like he had no friends and no one he liked. No one liked him. It's very mean. But like they're like, it's good to know that he had such a good friend, and he's like, they just lost their son. I can't just be like, actually, he bullied me.
He didn't have anybody.
So he like pretends to be his friend, and then he falls into like this trap.
Yeah.
And there's a song. There's 2 songs. One's called Disappear, where he's making a school fundraiser to make in the memory of the guy, and the song is like, no one deserves to be forgotten. No one deserves to disappear, which is very relatable, and it makes me emotional. And then there's another song where like he's been found out, and he's like, well, I guess I deserve to be alone forever, which is very sad. It's a very good musical. The song, I've never watched it.
I forgot this was a musical.
Yeah, they're making a movie, but who knows if that would be good.
Yeah.
But the music is really good.
Yeah.
I loved it. And like 3 of the songs on there I will listen to on repeat, so highly recommend.
I don't think I watched enough musicals to get to say that I've cried to any. I got pretty emotional when we listened to Hamilton the other day. Because we went to Tampa for a zoo vlog that you'll never get to see. But we had problems.
Like always.
But we listened to like I think the whole thing. Like,
Hamilton is 2 hours 40 minutes.
Yeah.
So we listened to Act 1. As soon as we got there and parked and got like we were getting things set up. Like doing stuff on his laptop and stuff. As soon as we were done, that's when Act 1 ended. And then driving back, we finished it and then we did something else. But the end, like when his son dies. Up until...
Well, it's everything, because it starts off with his son getting born and talking just about, his whole story, basically.
Say to you.
And to some extent, you get attached to even just the sun.
Yeah, and then and that's
especially
just listening to it.
Yeah.
Watching it. Oh
Yeah,
man.
I imagine, yeah. I probably would have just straight up cried
Yeah,
if I'd watched it.
Going into like Hamilton, like the part that made you laugh was his son died. They're singing. I think it's quiet uptown, and like he gets back together with his wife, and then it's can we get back to politics, please?
Yeah.
That's it's such a flip of a switch.
Yep.
Like let's rap again,
Mhm.
and then it's like oh upbeat, and then Hamilton dies.
Yeah.
It's such a good musical.
And then you're just sad for his wife.
Yeah, she had like a monologue song at the end.
Yeah.
It's
really good.
It's
Watch
such a good
Hamilton. I still haven't watched it, and I recommend you watch it.
My first musical that I like fell in love with, which made me like musicals, is The Greatest Showman.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it really made me. It did make me emotional at some point, but I don't think it made me cry.
Was it ever even sad?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's points that's kind of sad.
Gotcha, but not that.
Yeah,
I guess
it's also on Disney Plus. John, would you have for like the rest of the month?
I do, but I don't want to watch it.
Okay.
No, I'll watch it.
Okay, I guess.
I also have the ability to watch Hamilton, but we're probably going to do a commentary on that. So look for it. Look for it.
Look for it right
It won't
now.
be there yet, but look for it.
Yeah.
Subscribe. We'll tell you when it's
That's
out.
smart. That's
We'll tell you when it's out on the
Craft
podcast
Game channel.
So make sure you keep up.
Yeah. What else? I don't know if anything else recent.
So no games have gotten you then, like you said.
Assassin's Creed.
Oh yeah, I forgot that we did that.
We literally went into an Assassin's Creed podcast.
But what about like did you ever watch or play The Walking Dead, the Telltale series?
No. I watched Kevin play it.
Yeah, well that's different.
It made me cry with laughter.
But in the first Telltale game, and this is like the most obvious one because everybody cried with this one. But Lee, who's the main character of the game throughout the game, he passes away because you're hanging with Clem, you're protecting Clem, you get yourself bit, and then you have to ask Clem, who's a little girl, tiny little girl, to shoot you in the head before you turn into a zombie.
Yeah.
And that sort of plot, I feel like typically wouldn't really get me. Because like in some sense it's emotional, but it's just how they built this character, how much I liked it. Like the same thing could have happened in The Walking Dead, and it probably did. But The Walking Dead has never made me cry. The TV show.
It has made me cry. I only watched the first episode, and I was like, "This is so bad."
Yeah. But they executed that perfectly.
And Lee, they executed him.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I watched someone play The Walking Dead when it came out, the Telltale version. That wasn't Kevin, because he didn't play it when he came out. Yeah. Also, I wasn't watching him when it came out. When did it come out?
This is a long time ago.
Long time ago.
Yeah.
I think I remember getting emotional when Lee died. Because I remember seeing that before watching Kevin's video.
Okay.
I don't know who played it.
Yeah.
Maybe Tobuscus played it, because I watched him for a long time. I don't know.
This is long enough ago that could very well be the case.
But I don't know. You know what? I just remember what movie made me cry. 1917.
Yeah.
That part. Oh, when his friend. It wasn't even when. Spoiler alert. Great movie.
Yeah.
Honestly,
go and watch it right now if you want.
My movie. The best movie I watched in 2020. I think.
Yeah,
for sure. But like,
isn't 2020 the same year? Didn't Endgame come out, or was that 2019?
2019.
Okay.
I think 1917 came out in 2019 as well, but I didn't watch it then. I don't know.
Wait, okay.
But it wasn't even when like the guy died.
Yeah.
It was when he's like given up hope, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then he hears singing.
Mm-hmm.
That got me a little sad, right? I got like a little teary-eyed.
Yeah.
And then the thing that really got me is when he saw the guy's brother.
Yep, that's what got me.
I was like,
too.
That's it.
Yeah.
Sad. It's so
just
good,
knowing he's got to go and tell him.
Yeah.
Man.
Like,
man, dude. That's so rough.
But
I think I got pretty emotional when he died as well, because I was like, or no, I got emotional before he died
Yeah,
because I was like, oh, he's actually gonna help out that guy
yeah,
despite him being on the opposite side. Like that's a hero,
yeah.
you know,
That's what heroes
and that
do.
got me tearing up, and then just the shock value and
Yeah,
everything,
yeah. I don't think I
and the
was.
shame from it.
Yeah, I don't think I would was crying because
Yeah,
like Mercedes, I was kind of shocked. I was like,
yeah,
what? He
I
just
get the
did
same
it.
vibe.
He we
Yep,
just started this movie.
yep.
I did not see him
It
die
was
though.
also, I will say that that was probably one of the realest death scenes that I've seen
Yeah, yeah,
in
yeah,
a
for
movie.
sure. I
Like,
mean, because I've seen many people.
just kidding, YouTube.
Yeah,
But go watch 1917. It's gosh darn good.
it is very good.
Um,
I feel like I've watched another movie recently.
that made you cry. Did Jurassic Park make you cry in any parts of it?
No, it's not really. Maybe not even from nostalgia. I don't think.
No. Okay.
Um,
Did Harry
Jurassic.
Potter ever make you cry? I don't remember if I cried while reading the book. I might have cried when Dumbledore died. Spoiler.
Yeah, I
Um,
Dumbledore died. When Harry put him in the goblet of fire. Um,
he put him in the Goblet of Fire.
no, I think probably when Dumbledore died. That was probably maybe when Snape
Snape as
died.
well. Yeah. Finding out that he was like the fallen hero
Yeah,
and all that
yeah.
stuff.
Other than that, I don't think much.
I cried when Voldemort died. I
Yeah, that
was
was
like,
really
oh
sad.
no,
No,
my
no, 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 no.
favorite.
In the movie, the part that got me, and it's in the book too, but the way they executed it in the movie,
Hmm.
when
I still need
Voldemort,
to watch those.
it's so good.
Yeah.
When Voldemort kills Harry, but all he's doing is actually killing the Horcrux in Harry, right?
Mhm.
Um, he kills him in the Forbidden Forest, and the Battle of Hogwarts is going on, and he makes Hagrid pick up Harry's dead body and carry it back to Hogwarts.
Mm, okay.
And Hagrid's so look, I feel like I'm getting goosebumps. Um, but Hagrid's the one who brought him to the Dursleys, and then brought him to Diagon Alley, then brought him to Hogwarts, and then was with him for all those years, and
Yeah.
then he brought him back to Hogwarts, but dead. And like
Uh-huh.
you could just feel like in the book, I feel like it was kind of emotional, but like
Yeah.
in the movie, the guy who plays Hagrid, Robbie Coltrane,
Hmm.
me, um, you could just tell, like
Yeah.
you could feel the emotion
Yeah.
in that, and that was really good. And I think that caught me, if I
That
remember
sounds really
correctly. That
fun.
last Harry Potter movie probably got me the most.
Yeah.
Dobby, he died.
Yeah.
Fred, Fred or George, one of
One of
them.
them. I'm so sad about
Yeah, yeah,
it.
yeah. Oh wow. When both Remus Lupin and Tonks, I think they were together, died.
Yeah.
There was a scene where like their dead bodies were laying next to each other, but
Yeah.
their hands were reaching out
Yeah.
to grab
Yeah.
each other's hands, but they're not together.
That was a really sad last book. That was
Yeah,
they did so because character deaths in Harry Potter, as far as the good guys were concerned, not very frequent. You had Sirius, which was
yeah.
also
You had
something that was very
Cedric
sad.
Diggory in the fourth book,
Yeah.
which I feel like was in the movie was really sad because like I'm gonna spoil it a little bit
All
when
right.
we watch it. It's all right. Because it was the same thing that happened in the book.
Yeah, I've read it.
Like Cedric dies in the graveyard, right?
Mhm.
After the Triwizard tournament, him and Harry grab the cup at the same time, and then Voldemort,
Yeah.
kills Cedric, and then Harry fights off Voldemort, grabs Cedric's body and the goblet so he can go back
Yeah.
to Harry Potter, to
Hogwarts.
Hogwarts,
Get back to
and
his
then
book. Yeah.
they both land, and then cheers and music and a
Uh,
big celebration. And Harry's just laying there over the body crying, and then they like cut to Cedric's dad, and he's like, "They did it! That's my son!" And then he looks and he goes, "My son?" And that I goosebumps again.
I do need to watch it because I feel like you miss out on some level
Yeah,
of
yeah. Like you
emotion while
can
you're reading
rating it as sad,
Yeah.
but when it's executed well in a movie,
Yeah. Yep.
just picturing it in my head makes me sad.
Did any of the Rick Riordan books make you cry, do you think?
Not the Magnus Chase series, which
I don't
I just
even
finished.
remember the deaths from those books though.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's been so long since I read like the Percy Jackson parts,
Yeah.
like the first 5 books.
I mean, the Percy Jackson movie, second one, maybe.
Oh yeah, that
so much.
it was just beautiful.
Yeah,
That's the
yeah.
thing.
It's the best movie I've ever seen. But I don't remember.
I know sad things
crying.
happen, but I don't remember
I
anything
cannot
making me
name a
cry.
single thing.
I will say, Aragon made me cry. I don't know if
Really?
you ever read those
No,
books,
when you
and
said Aragon, I thought of Lord of the Rings.
yeah.
I was like,
I
really?
think
He
I think
did?
that's the same vibe for everybody. That's the weird thing because I read those
Is
books
that the
before I read,
Dragon series?
yeah, Dragon Rider, named Aragon.
I read a book about
Spyro.
Dragon in middle school, but I don't remember what it was.
Hmm.
It might be that one.
Might be Aragon. Well, there are four of them, so you probably only read
I
the
may
one
have
at the very
read,
least.
I think I remember reading a couple.
Really? Okay.
I don't remember any of it, but
They were really long books, but they were those are some of my favorite books, and legit when you talk about things like dragons and just that sphere of middle
yes.
Middle Earth, right? Like the thing
Yeah,
that you
yeah,
have
yeah, Aragon.
in there. Aragon's what I think of before Lord of the Rings.
Really?
Yeah. It was that impactful of a book
Wow.
for me. Like elves, any of that sort of stuff. Just not hobbits because they didn't have hobbits.
Yeah.
But I don't even remember specifically what it is in those books that made me cry, but there were multiple occasions where I
Really?
remember tearing up in those books.
Okay.
And I really want to go back and read them now to find out what those were. That was a weird thing to bring up since I have no details to give you, but read the Aragon
I
series.
tried.
These are
That's
just
all I
it's just
have
a
to say.
recommendation list going forward.
If you
Um,
cry easily, read these things.
Read these things. Or if you just like things, read these things.
Yeah.
Aragon, I don't remember the rest of the name of the books, but read all of them. They're
Yeah.
very, very good.
For sure. Easy
Easy.
cry.
But I don't think many books have made me cry. I know that the Aragon series did, like I said. I don't think that Lord of the Rings. Well, I didn't read Lord of the Rings. I watched Lord of the Rings, but I think I read The Hobbit. That didn't make me cry.
Too long.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Unlike the Aragon books.
yeah.
Or Harry Potter.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't remember crying at Rick Riordan anything. So I think books maybe they just don't have the ability to convey as much emotion as quickly.
Yeah. And
Um,
I also don't read a lot. Well, I'm starting to read a
yeah,
little
I
bit
don't read
more
as much as I'd
again,
like.
but like, and back then I didn't cry because it was uncool to cry.
Yeah,
I genuinely think in middle school and high school I wouldn't admit that I cried at
yeah,
something. I feel like I would have been like, no, it
yeah.
was
I
okay.
think I had the same sort of
It
thing.
was
I think kids just have that
Yeah.
same sort of thing.
Yeah, like I don't know how to cry.
What even?
What is
What?
cry?
What do you mean? You get water coming from
In
your
your
eyes? That's
eyes?
weird.
I just look back behind me at my shelf to
Yeah.
see like other stuff in there. Doctor Who,
Yeah.
David Tennant leaving.
Hmm.
That
Really just doctor deaths.
yeah,
I don't remember. I don't think I cried for
Eccleston.
Eccleston.
But his was such a happy death. He was
Yeah.
like, you know what, you were fantastic,
Yeah.
and you know what,
But we were
was
still
I.
leaving him.
Yeah, but
You
I
know?
don't think I recognized that at the time.
Okay.
Even going back, I started rewatching it not too long ago and then stopped. But I don't think I was like that emotional with Eccleston, and I love Eccleston. He's
Yeah.
so good.
He's a really good doctor.
But I don't think like David Tennant leaving was so sad. Rose leaving was sad.
Mhm.
David Tennant leaving was sad. Like his whole series. I think David Tennant's the best one.
Yeah,
No,
he's my favorite doctor.
I think if I watch Matt Smith, I'll be like, Matt Smith is the best doctor. I've watched David Tennant most recently. But yeah, I feel like David. How did Matt Smith die?
Yeah, it's not even super memorable for me. But,
Yeah, like I don't want to go.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
iconic. Matt Smith, Geronimo.
Yeah, Matt Smith's a great doctor too.
Yeah, I love
I really need to catch up on that
Definitely.
show.
Yeah, I've watched Jodie. Peter's really good as a doctor. I
Yeah.
love him. He's really funny.
Was Peters leaving really sad?
I don't remember it.
Okay.
And
that's pretty recent at this point.
Bad memory. And then Jodie, she's fun.
Yeah.
Like I genuinely kind of, I'll admit, I went into it with skepticism because of like hearing all the Doctor Who fans be like,
Mhm.
I hate her.
Yeah.
She's not a good doctor. And then I went into it and I was like, this is pretty fun,
Yeah,
actually. This
she's a
is
good
Doctor Who.
Yeah.
She's the doctor.
So do you figure that people hated her just because she's a lady, or was there
Maybe.
something else to it?
I don't know.
Because you are going kind of from, like, we went from Matt Smith, right, who's just jovial and has fun with things, to Peter, who's
more serious.
Yeah, more serious down, and then I guess Jody's probably more whimsical again.
Well, the thing is with Peter, he's like more serious, but also not super. He doesn't take it super serious. It's like Christopher Eccleston. He's more of a serious doctor, but he's still fun and funny.
Yeah.
And Jodie, I think I've only watched one season with her, so I can't really say, even though I've only watched one season with Christopher Eccleston. But that was the whole story.
Yeah.
But like she just seems fun. She's funny at times. But the first season she's still getting her bearings. It's like who she is.
Okay.
So maybe that's why they didn't like it, because like she's the doctor. Like I don't know.
I don't know.
I need
people
to
will find reasons to hate things for anything, and maybe they're valid reasons, but all the same. That was sarcasm, by the way.
Yeah, I just hate Captain Marvel. It's a bad movie.
Yeah, it's not a great movie. I mean, just in general, it's not a sexist statement. Genuinely, I just didn't like the movie.
Yeah, there was a great video.
If you like the movie, good for you. And that's fine.
Yeah, I can't remember who the video's by, but he compared Captain America versus Captain Marvel. Yeah. Because it's kind of the same story. It's like it takes place in the past. A regular soldier gets enhanced by a government agency, and then turns against the government agency, realizing they're doing something bad, and like fights off an evil villain, and then sacrifices himself at the end.
Yeah.
But he brought up the good point of that the super serum that was used for Captain America, it made everything about him better. Like all good parts and all bad parts. But Steve Rogers was a really good person. So like his character, you see him getting beaten up at the beginning of the movie as a super scrawny guy, and he takes a shield. He could have used it. He could have got an offensive weapon to beat the big guy, but no, he took a defensive weapon because he's all about like defending, not attacking. And he'll just not back down. And then Captain Marvel gets in a fight, and then I don't even remember what happens, but like she gets pulled out. Like they don't define her character, apparently. And then she's like, "Oh, I have superpowers." And then the only reason she's in Endgame is because they wanted a big moment. So I feel
they needed to cram in every year at the same time. So.
And so like, she shows up, and everyone's like, "What?" Rhodes said like, "No offense, but where have you been?" And she says like, "I've been saving the universe." And the guy brought up another good point. Well, Thanos has wiped out half the universe, and he wouldn't have if you were here.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't like Captain Marvel. She made me cry. I don't like the way they've done Captain America or Captain Marvel. It's just not good. I feel like her character could be really good, if they had better writing.
Yeah.
Like Thor, I felt like was going down, and then Pakiwati, right away. So like
what it took. Maybe they just team up with Pakiwati. Can't say the word, the name. But team up with them for Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
And then people might like her.
Genuinely. I feel like he can make any movie good. Yeah. Even though I've only seen one movie of his. Yeah. I do want to watch
a lot of faith after that one movie though.
Genuinely. It's so good. He took Thor, who was like literally going, like Thor 1 was good.
Yeah.
Thor in the Avengers was pretty good. Thor 2 was bad.
Yeah.
Thor in Age of Ultron was okay, but like he wasn't really a main character, even though he is. And then you get Ragnarok.
Civil War, he's just not there.
Exactly. So Ragnarok comes around, and he's like, he feels like a new character.
Yeah.
He
feels like a new character.
It feels like a new character. So when he comes in Infinity War and Endgame, did he come in Infinity War? Is that when he came in? Yeah. Because that's when the snap happened. You're like, I like this guy again.
Yeah. This guy's cool.
I like Captain Marvel. He came in, destroyed Thanos' entire ship. Thor could have done that. Genuinely, if Thor did that, or Valkyrie, the girl with Thor, I would have been like, yes, this is amazing. But then Captain Marvel did it, and I'm just like, wow, you're so powerful.
Where were you earlier?
And
Yeah.
that's so sad for a
Yeah.
main character in the MCU.
Not only a main character, but you just put her in the likes of Thor as
Yeah,
far as like strength and things
yeah,
is
yeah,
concerned.
and
Like she should be cool.
yeah, she's like maybe one of the most powerful characters in the MCU.
Yeah. Like for example, again, not going to do spoilers for WandaVision, but Wanda, super powerful character. WandaVision, super good show. Me like Wanda, me like power. It all comes
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
together, you
Wanda
know?
is the most powerful character
Yeah.
in the MCU. She's one of the most powerful characters in Marvel's comics.
Yeah.
I've learned a lot
Just
from
period.
Matt Pat's videos, like the time she just
Shout out game
said,
theory, film theory.
yeah, the time she said no more mutants, and then the
Mhm.
mutants were just gone. That is so funny.
Yeah.
I love that. That's literally like way overpowered.
Mhm.
So
It's
good.
insanely overpowered, but hey,
Comics can do whatever they want.
yes, they can. And yeah, so but that's just an example of doing right by character. And here's the thing as well. To some extent, that was a reboot for Wanda because I didn't care about her whatsoever
Genuinely.
prior to the
Like
TV
I
show.
liked Vision because of different, like Age of Ultron, he was funny
Yeah.
in, and I liked
And he was
the
cool in
actor.
that movie. Yeah.
But then like
And he's Jarvis the whole time as
yeah,
well. So
but like in Civil War,
yeah.
I didn't really care for him.
hmm
And then like when he died in which one,
Like,
Infinity War, I was like, oh, this is sad.
yeah.
But if he would have died, if WandaVision came out first and then he died in Infinity War, I would have been like,
Oh
right,
my God. Yeah.
yeah. So
And WandaVision really redefines that moment for you as well. Because
so
it's like,
uh
I don't know. I think that's the way. Maybe if they made a Captain Marvel show, I don't know. They
it
did a
wouldn't.
good job with
I
it.
don't think it matters if it's a show or a movie, as long they just
Yeah, it
need a
doesn't
better
matter
writer.
either.
They
Yeah.
just need a better writer and a
Yeah.
better director.
Mhm.
Because the guy I was watching, I'll send you the video.
Okay.
Maybe I'll post it on Twitter or something.
This has very little to do with crying.
Sean,
Yeah,
who
but-
cares?
Okay, all right.
Who cares? Our podcast, look, we've been going for 40 minutes,
All right.
45. We knew we were gonna
Yeah, we do.
backtrack. But like he even took the Captain Marvel movie
hmm
and then he didn't like re-edit it, but he showed the way he would have done it by
Mhm.
putting like this part here and this part like back and then
Okay.
just changing one or two things in
Do
the
that for The
script.
Last of Us too.
Women.
Why?
Isn't that the problem with isn't that like
No, The Last of Us 2 is just badly
but
written.
don't people hate it because of one of the women in it?
Oh, Abby. Yeah.
Okay, that's why I
Yeah,
said
okay.
that.
All right. Fair enough.
But
But I mean, it's not because
she's a
he's
woman,
like that. She's just
a
the
bad
worst
character.
person ever.
But
But she's understandable. Whatever, dude. We
whatever.
Don't care.
You're rejecting
We're
my
not here to argue
advances.
about TLOU, okay?
Did that make you cry?
Alright.
But yeah, no, he like redid it, and I don't think it would have redeemed her that much because
Mhm.
it's still the same
It's
character.
yeah.
But
Same
it
movie,
just
same character.
you kind of get like a better version of it,
Yeah.
and that would have been better. Like,
Yep.
oh man, it's just so disappointing.
I'm sure that there are examples in the comics where she's written better, and the people love Captain Marvel.
Yeah, there were
Um.
the guy did state off the fact he was like, now to be fair, I don't even like her in the comics.
Oh. All right.
I don't know if that's just like a personal
I
thing,
don't know.
but
Yeah, I guess in general, I also don't like her power set very much.
what
I
is her
mean,
power set?
it's shooting rays out of her hand. That's all that I know about her,
Yeah.
right? Like she's strong, she can fly, and she can whoosh whoosh whoosh. She's like less interesting Iron Man,
Yeah,
effectively.
but
Um,
like I genuinely don't even. They explain her powers, right? In Captain Marvel, and I
well,
don't
it's a bad
remember
movie,
it.
so I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just something that I don't care very much about. But aside from that,
Which made me cry.
yes, it did very much make me cry.
It's a bad movie.
But looping back to The Last of Us, The Last of Us 2 made me cry out of shame, but The Last of Us 1 just made me cry.
And you didn't even play
This
either
is
of
very
them,
sad.
right? You didn't play either of them.
No, I played through the first one,
Oh,
but I
okay.
played through the first one after watching
After
it,
watching
and
it.
I cried both times. Like The Last of Us 1, And I know I'm just gonna sound like every other person on the planet is one of my favorite games. It's like up there with like Undertale for me, which again just makes me sound like every other person on the planet.
Oh, you're a gamer.
But The Last of Us, especially at the end, where Joel has the choice of either saving Ellie or allowing the world to get saved with the vaccine. I don't know if you know the story already.
Right.
Okay, so Ellie is she's been scratched
Okay.
by a
Yeah, it's a
zombie.
zombie game.
Yeah, it's a zombie
I
game.
hate zombies.
And she's supposed to turn into something, but she doesn't. So they're proposing that she would have the ability to generate some sort of
So
vaccine.
she's doing the COVID vaccine.
Yes.
Okay. You should have just said that.
I should have started there. So they go through the whole journey to get there and everything. And the scientists, I think they don't tell Joel at first that they're gonna have to use her brain, which is stupid. But they're gonna have to use her brain.
Yeah.
And MatPat discusses why that's stupid
Yeah.
in his video. Go ahead and watch his theory on this. So in other words, she's got to die in order for that to happen. And the girl, and we find this out actually in TLOU 2, a lady that had basically led you there, leader of the Fireflies, leader of the organization that told you to get here.
Would you believe your eyes? 10 million
That is a great song.
fireflies? That made me
She's like, he deserves to know. She goes off, tells him, and he's like, what? And then he storms off. Actually, I don't remember exactly how it happens, but I think he storms off, kills everybody to get to her.
I love that.
And then takes her and leaves, effectively dooming the world, even though we didn't know that the vaccine was going to work and they were going to kill her anyway.
Yeah.
But he also killed all of the scientists that were capable of creating a vaccine.
I like this guy.
That's pretty good. But him making that choice, it's such a conflicting emotion because on the one hand, it's like, yes, it's for the greater good, but also as an aside, I don't know if you know this, but Joel at the beginning of the game lost his real daughter.
Yeah, I know that.
So
one.
now it's exactly like Bayek in a sense where he thinks that he's going to lose another kid here.
Yeah.
And he can't do that. So he goes off and saves her, and that made me tear up. It was
I watched Call Me Kevin play one episode of The Last of Us,
mm-hmm.
and he tried to kill Ellie right away. He shot at her. He was like, "We might as well get this over with."
Alternative universe, Joel. TLOU 2, actually, I will say, TLOU 2 made me cry as well on the one scene that they had where we're just Joel and Ellie. It's after Joel's already dead. Joel dies, spoiler.
He's so nonchalant. He dies, whatever.
I mean, that's what they did in the game. They made it nonchalant. I hate that game. So they have this like flashback to when Ellie's a bit younger and it's her birthday and Joel takes her to a little museum to see dinosaurs and stuff.
Oh, I love that.
And she loves dinosaurs. She loves space. There's a little space part to the museum that they go to, and they're in a little and they're in a little shuttle, and they're listening to a recording, and he wakes up after. It's such a genuinely good scene. I love those characters, and I hate what they did with them. But that was one emphatic scene that just made me like
that. You can tell how good of like writing that was.
Yeah,
like those characters are written so well that you're like talking about it and getting sad.
Yeah.
I was thinking about it because one game that made me emotional, I never even finished it, was God of War. But there's some emotional scenes in it.
The new one, right?
Yeah. With Boy.
I
can't name you one because I can't remember any of them. I do remember feeling emotions. Though.
Yeah.
Who knows what those emotions were? But I had
remember feeling something.
There was something for the first time.
I wasn't
in my
just
life.
robotic. I was playing that game.
It was weird.
I can't wait to play that game. I'm waiting to get the PS5 before I do it because I want to.
Yeah. Another game that you haven't played, and have you watched Spider-Man PS4?
I watched like an episode, and then I was like, "This looks fun."
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna wait.
So I won't spoil it. For the audio listeners.
Here, I'll close my ears.
No, but there is something that happens in that game that makes me cry.
Yeah.
That's so sad.
Really? Okay.
Also,
have you played Miles Morales yet?
Not yet.
Yeah, because you don't have to.
Yeah, unrelated. Thing that makes me cry. Not cry. I guess kind of in retrospect now. And it happens in a lot of Marvel media. Stan Lee cameos.
Yeah.
They make me emotional. Because then I think like, oh, well,
Mhm.
he's not going to be in the next Marvel movie.
When I see, like, I think I went back and I watched one of the Iron Mans recently, and he popped up, and I got sad there. But what got me was going to a newer movie, watching it, and not knowing that he never got to see this movie.
Oh,
You know,
yeah. Yeah, like,
so many things that are huge in Marvel now, and the whole direction that they're going and everything.
yeah,
And he just never gets to
he doesn't
experience
get to
that.
experience it. Yeah, it's very,
It's me really sad.
that one's very sad.
Yeah.
And that's like a real life sadness. Like, wow, real
Pretty out
human
there.
sadness.
Did Deadpool make you sad? Do you remember the story?
Yeah, did it make me? I think it did.
Yeah.
I remember being in the theater crying a little bit.
hmm
Being in the theater crying a little bit.
hmm
The live action Aladdin, that got me a little bit. It was.
Don't remember.
Did you ever watch it?
I think so.
Will Smith was blue.
I know, and I swear I watched like enough of it that I must have watched the movie.
Yeah, there
Like
was.
not just the
I
trailer.
think it was. I think it was during, and I don't know if it was like a sad cry,
hmm
but it was during. I think it was during Jasmine's song, "Silence" or whatever it's called. I
Okay.
won't be silent. You
Ah,
can't keep me
I
quiet.
did watch this movie, yeah.
Yeah, that song's so good. I think that scene got me. Also, I was laughing during it because she like
Laugh
freezes
crying.
time,
Yeah.
and I saw it in theaters with my cousins, and she like as she's walking around, the guards like vaporize during the song because she's like cutting them out or something.
hmm
And I leaned into my cousin. I said, "Fine, I'll do it myself."
Yeah.
And I snapped, and then I was like, that made me laugh. Ah, it's a good movie.
hmm So you just what you're saying is that you laughed from or you cried from laughing at
Yeah,
your
yeah,
own
yeah,
joke.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Like everyone listening to this podcast, of
Mhm.
course. Uh,
I can see the tears.
uh,
Cute.
there was another game I was going to bring up, but I forget it. So,
Another
oops.
game.
Yeah.
I can't think of outside of those ones. I know that I haven't played like a game that I'm super nostalgic for in a while. Like those would
Red
probably
Dead.
make me cry. But Undertale, and I just want to loop back real quick.
Yeah.
That game is not particularly sad, I guess, unless you play like the genocide route. In which case, it's not. It's sad, but it's also like this isn't the reality that I chose anyway. So you have the choice to go back and make changes. So that's not as sad for me. But the ending of the game where the music just swells and the emotions are there. I didn't even play it, by the way. I watched somebody else play
Jack.
it again. And he wasn't getting particularly emotional by it because he's too busy like doing everything. But me, it was like friendship
Yeah.
and love and mercy and all the themes of Undertale and the
Mercy.
music
That's
and
not
everything
really
else.
chill.
Okay. Well, that's one of the themes
Yeah,
of the
yeah,
game
yeah.
too.
That's mine.
Um,
Even though we did a pacifist one.
yeah. But it's such a gosh darn good game, and it made me tear up for sure at the end. Again, another one of those things. If you haven't played it, it's been around since like 2015 or 2016. Please play it.
Yeah.
Please. It's so good.
Played it.
Huh?
If you haven't played it, play it. Yeah.
I forgot. You've played it, but you
Yeah, I
haven't like
have.
finished it.
I've done like episodes on it.
Even just starting it is enough, actually.
Yeah,
Just
yeah. If you've
go
started
ahead.
the game,
If you've seen Flowey, you're good to go.
yeah, yeah. That cow lady.
Yeah.
Red Dead 2 got me, and I haven't even finished Red Dead 2 because they want me to update it. Sucks. It's internet problems I'm having.
So I guess if I bought that, I could get it to
Yeah,
you.
give me the update.
Actually, don't I have it? I think I bought it. I just haven't
You
downloaded
did,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
But that has many points that get me emotional.
Mhm.
Which it's such a beautiful. It's probably one of my all-time favorite games, and it's just so good. The characters are so good. Anything that happens in it, crying immediately, no matter what. He's like, "You want to go fishing, boy?" I'm like,
Oh,
"Yes, sir."
I love the fish.
I love the fish. And say when they catch on the rope.
Yes. And you eat them after.
No.
Oh, you let go?
No.
Oh.
No.
Just sadistic. I love sadistic.
I do. Sorry, PC problems.
For
You're not
audio
a real gamer.
listeners, PC problems.
For audio listeners. I'm trying to think, like, because I have a Batman poster, and Batman stuff. Does Batman ever make me cry?
Batman's made me cry many times.
He's so good.
With just how much I
How
hate
good he is.
Also, Joker. Did Joker make you cry? I don't think Joker
Yeah,
made me
I think
cry.
it got me emotional.
Yeah? At what part? Do you remember?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Just not going to divulge on that right now. Yeah.
That'd be embarrassing.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
I don't want to let them know I've cried before. I don't know what part.
I think that movie was such a trip. I know that it was like a really good movie, but I don't think any of them made me cry.
I feel like just him going down and spiraling. I think there was one point where I was like, "Oh wow, this is sad. It's just sad," and then it made me tear up a little bit. There's another thing I was going to bring up related to Joker, which
We're very
know.
Prepared.
What?
We're always prepared for these podcasts.
For sure.
Did Back to the Future ever make you cry?
No.
No?
Maybe
that's a pretty happy movie, generally.
Yeah, maybe from nostalgia. No, because I watch it a lot.
There's never even a moment for nostalgia.
Yeah, but no, but walking into Universal Studios.
Yeah.
And here, because like they'll play random music as like random Universal music going in, and I will tell you, I get like goosebumps.
Yeah.
If I'm walking into the park and it's the back speakers theme.
Yeah.
Oh, it makes me feel so good. Like that's so good. My other favorite movie, Ghostbusters, has never made me cry. That one's just such a good movie as well.
Oh my god.
That made me cry. It's a really emotional movie. Yeah, Quest for Golden Banana.
Yeah.
That one makes me cry every time.
Have you guys heard of it? It's really good. It's really, really good.
Fans of film, if you haven't watched the Quest for Golden
Banana.
Banana.
Is a good question. If you're into film or just like life,
if you're alive,
maybe check it out. YouTube.com/Legion of2.
Yeah.
Search in there and you'll find the Quest for the Golden Banana.
The Quest for the Golden Banana. One of the greatest movies ever made.
Also, watch all the credits as well at the end. Good for what? I mean, it's just really enjoyable.
Yeah.
Well. Just a big recommendation.
There's
I don't even know who made it, honestly.
No, and we've watched all the credits.
Yeah.
A lot of people made it.
It's just really
hard
good.
to narrow it down.
But you remember that part where spoilers, by the way. Go ahead and watch it and come back.
Yeah,
but
we'll wait.
Where Logan, he takes out his watch and there's I know. He's just got like the little square picture
of his child
of his child off Google. That his child.
Yeah. And that's when he decides to give up said golden banana for the better of humanity.
That was a huge sacrifice.
Like genuinely one of the biggest sacrifices in a movie, I think. Like Captain America basically committed suicide in the movie, right?
Right. I'd say that's like 2 out of 10.
Yeah.
And Logan is like
11 out of 10.
50. Yeah, it's
crazy.
But
and then
he
dies,
he gives that up. It's where you guys might not know this if you haven't watched the movie yet, but it's like $5,000.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Like that changes your life.
Yeah.
Imagine having $5,000.
$5,000. Yeah.
And so, but he gives it up for the better of humanity. And then, but spoiler alert, when Jeb dies, and they have to, the two main characters have to pry the map out of his dead hands.
It's very emotional.
Oh my gosh.
And then they have to decide to keep on going.
Yeah, like they can't just stop because humanity, right?
Yeah. Plus for the golden, that's the whole thing.
It's the human experience. Like if you want to know what it's like to be a human, That movie.
Quest of the Golden Banana.
It's also like surprisingly really funny.
Yeah, hilarious.
Yeah, like you'll go from crying to laughing. You'll go from crying to crying from laughing.
Yes.
Like
the crying won't stop. The tears won't stop.
And it's also kind of scary. Remember when Logan first showed up?
Yeah.
That I was terrified.
That cinematography? I've never seen that.
No, and then they flipped it on its head, immediately made it funny.
Yeah.
In such a natural way that I was like, oh my gosh.
Like, and like also the Easter eggs in that movie?
So many.
Oh my god.
Steve.
Guys, you've got to watch this movie.
It's so good. The Quest for the Golden Banana, leave it a 2. YouTube.com/leave it a 2.
Just remember, after that point, more stuff like that could happen in the future. More movies that great could happen.
There's been rumors of like a whole universe wrapped around the Golden Banana. So,
which I believe that's what's it called, the MCU. The MCU ripped that off, right? Whatever they're called. Yeah, they're like the they're like the superhero guys. They do
Batman and Superman.
No. Those are the dumb ones.
Oh, the DCU. So like, dumb.
Right. Crappy
comic, entertaining.
Yep.
Yeah. But Quest for Golden Banana started
all that.
And they didn't even make a universe. It was just a rumor, and everyone stole that idea.
You should have seen Reddit. That's man, the theories everywhere. If you haven't seen MatPat's theory yet, well, it's coming out at some point.
Yeah, sure. Hopefully.
Yeah. So we're excited about that. But go ahead, go to the channel, subscribe, just in case more comes out, like the universe that we're talking about.
Yeah.
Like that video because it's gosh darn good. At the very least, there's a like and a comment.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And a share it to all your friends.
A bunch of views. Like just
maybe a tweet.
A bunch.
Know. That's all I'm saying.
I don't think I can talk about that movie anymore.
No.
We get emotions.
It's just a bit much for the podcast right now.
Yeah.
But yeah. What else have I watched recently? I just watched a Disney movie and I'm forgetting what it was. Moana. I watched Moana. I don't think it made me cry.
Wait. What about the grandma?
I remember talking about that. I think I did cry, but I just don't remember what made me sad about it. Was it just that she died?
I guess.
Because now, like when I think back on it, I'm like,
yeah,
she died.
I feel like a lot of Disney movies make me. Well, before we go into Disney movies, a Disney song that'll make me cry is "Happily Ever After," which is the Magic Kingdom show that they used to do pre-Corona. It's a very emotional song. I have sad memories tied to it because I worked at Disney, and the last day they did Happily Ever After was also the last day a lot of my friends were working there before they got deported. So a lot of emotions are attached to that song. So like I go through that song. I know when they bring back fireworks and that show is on, I'm gonna go see it, and I will not stop crying the entire show.
The whole time.
Yeah. But Disney movies specifically, I feel like Tarzan made me cry. Frozen, did that make me cry?
I think Finding About the Parents.
Yeah.
Although I wasn't very attached to the parents. Maybe I was just confused.
Frozen 2 made me cry, not Frozen 1.
I still need to watch that.
Yeah, it's really good.
Did Lion King make you cry? It's a pretty sad
Long live
movie.
The king.
Yeah.
Not really. I don't remember crying. No. I haven't watched it in a long time. Maybe I'd cry now.
Yeah.
Because I'm a man.
I've grown past not tearing up.
Yes, I have tear ducts now. Yep. But Disney's really good. I think the new Mary Poppins made me tear up. I can't remember when, but I feel like it did.
I don't even think I watched the original of that.
That's really good.
It's a good movie.
Fun.
Yeah.
The second one's really good too. It's got Lin-Manuel Miranda, who's
Hamilton.
And he does really well in it. He writes a lot of the songs, or some of the songs at least. What was that? Audio listeners, what was that? Tell us.
A pill bottle.
drugs. Not, but like over the counter.
On the
Not
topic
even
of
over the
Disney.
counter, on the shelf. YouTube, don't. Please. Like, you can, it's ibuprofen.
Ibuprofen. What's it? Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Please don't make us cry, YouTube. Or Spotify or whatever. But yeah, Disney makes me cry.
Yeah, Disney's good at it because they use music. I think that's like a large part of it. Because music will just make you emotional in itself.
For sure. Yeah.
And I guess that's why musicals work on you in general as well.
Oh yeah. The way they convey because you can feel the emotion through the actor, yes, the actor singing it, but the music itself usually gets pretty sad.
Yeah.
And then you're like,
yeah.
That's what I sound like when I cry.
It's weird.
Every time.
You're Pac-Man.
I don't know why I'm
driving.
When I listen to music.
I hope you're not crying and driving.
Sometimes, you never know. You gotta have fun.
Time. Gotta live life on the edge sometimes.
Exactly. Did you look up anything about that?
Here, keep on talking.
I
distract.
So guys,
you know what else makes us cry? Oh wait, no, I need to distract you first.
Guys,
wait.
Get distracted. Hey, Jerome,
How you doing there, buddy? It's weird. I watched somebody play once again. Deltarune. Which is the follow-up to Undertale, which I didn't know was not only going to be one game. Deltarune is going to have like a bunch of parts going forward. I think Toby Fox was quoted saying that he could turn like 999 and the thing wouldn't be done with that part of the franchise. But when I was going into it, it's probably just as good of a game. And there are a lot of happy portions where I got pretty emotional, but I didn't get to the point of crying, I don't think. Which is odd for me, because a lot of it also reminded me of Undertale. And when I thought of Undertale, then I would get a little bit into it. But other than that, not so much. Similarly themed game though is did you ever play Night in the Woods or see anybody play it?
I watched a little of Jack play it.
Yeah.
And I think Kevin played it. Obviously, Kevin's not going to have
Kevin's
that video. But I believe I watched, maybe it was more than a little bit. I watched a lot of Jack play it.
Okay. That's a good game.
I don't think I remember.
It deals with like a lot of like depression and teen angst and just what those like kids go through. And while I didn't experience like a lot of, I guess, what they're going through, at the same time, it felt relatable enough that it got me. Like, kind of like, oh, I was child once too. Although they're adults now, but I mean, like, in terms of the way they interact.
I was child.
I was child. That was also a pretty sad game.
Apparently, some other things have made us cry in life, Sean.
Yes.
Those things is
Apple.
the company Apple.
That's the thing.
The things. Apple.
Yeah. Really the only thing.
Yeah. Every time we do an Apple welcome to the Apple hating segment. Every time we do it, I just look up Apple. I don't look up bad Apple news. I look up Apple and then get bad Apple news is like that top result.
Yep.
First thing that shows up, I opened Microsoft Edge and Apple got angry. So we opened up Edge, and as soon as he opened up Edge on his MacBook Air, a big message appeared on Microsoft Edge saying, "Try the new Safari," all capital letters.
Wait, really?
Energy efficient with a beautiful design. Look. We can't show video or audio listeners. But
try the new Safari.
It literally is saying like, as soon as you open up Microsoft Edge, which according to this is the second most popular web browser behind Google Chrome, which is surprising. Genuinely, I thought it'd be Firefox, but
yeah, That's weird because Firefox is on all browsers, right?
Yeah.
And it's better.
But I guess all PCs default to Edge.
Yeah, but Safari was the second one, right? Or was Edge? Wait.
No.
It's
Edge
Chrome.
It's Chrome,
then
Edge.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought I mixed it up. Okay.
Yeah, and the only reason Edge is second is because you use it to download Chrome.
Yeah. You have to use so many people have used it for that purpose. But Edge, especially as a developer, Edge and just Internet Explorer are the worst things to have to develop for. I wish you didn't exist. I'm sorry, Microsoft. I love your operating system. Just stick to the operating system. It works fine. Although I guess I'm glad the competition exists, but Firefox is enough.
I also saw a TikTok, which I'm opening TikTok to look for the TikTok. Okay. But the guy said, things I need on my Apple that Android is already doing.
Yep.
And it was like
a list of 100 items.
Yeah. One of them is to turn off your phone. You don't just hold the power button.
Okay.
Because if you hold the power button, Siri pops up, which is, Android. We have a
we just have a different button.
And a power button.
Fancy that.
So to turn off your phone, you have to hold two buttons. And he's like, I know it's nothing big.
Yeah.
But it is annoying.
Yeah.
If I wanted to turn off my phone one-handed, I just
can't.
Another thing that annoys him, that Apple doesn't have, is the ability to swipe down to get to your notifications from anywhere on the screen.
You can't do that?
On Apple, you have to touch the top. You know what? My favorite thing my Android does is a Samsung Galaxy S9. I have a fingerprint scanner on the back. I can swipe down from the back and swipe back
I use that so often.
It's literally the most I love it so much. Like, I'm just like on my phone, like, ooh, a text. Okay, done.
Yep.
I cannot imagine owning an Apple at all.
I just can't.
But
it's like me moving back to a flip phone.
Yeah.
Or something.
I do want to say I did leave a comment on the TikTok, and I was like, imagine 4 years' time, Apple comes out with these features, brand new features never seen before on a phone,
and all your iPhone friends
are going to be
just like, oh my god,
you can
look at this new pager.
Can you just, look what I can do? I can check my notifications wherever I want, and then you're just like,
here's my phone from 6 years ago.
Yeah, wow. And then it's going to be, we're going to be on the point where it's like, yeah, the notifications, I see it in my eye.
Yeah.
And Apple's like, but I can swipe down at the bottom of the screen to see it. I don't have to touch the top. This is the one problem with an in-person podcast.
Yeah. Research is hard.
Because when we're doing it on PC, you don't notice.
Yeah.
Like, we don't look at the camera.
Okay, admittedly, and you might be saying, oh, why didn't you search it up beforehand? Excuse me. Apple hating segments have to be on the fly.
Yeah.
We have to prove to you that Apple's always doing something stupid. We don't have to plan for that.
Yeah, exactly.
We just figure it out. I mean, sure, we just said that the research is hard, but no. All that he did was search Apple.
I literally only searched Apple. And I got that.
Yeah.
The first or second result. I just don't understand how anyone can own an Apple.
I don't know, man.
I think our last podcast, I was happy first podcast of 2021, Sean.
Probably, yeah.
Like, genuinely, it is. Because our last
the last one was from Christmas. The year before, yeah.
And
happy 2021. Happy not Corona. We're still in Corona.
I bet you're wondering why we took a break.
I caught coronavirus.
Yes. And I caught it
for about a week or two during our 3-month break. And that was enough. So there's my explanation.
Yes.
We'll probably try to do a couple of videos a week for a while if we
can remember. Maybe not all in person.
Either that or we're going to focus on other contents for you guys, so you'll still have more content to go for. We're going to make
something.
We're going to make it up to you somehow.
We're going to give something to the channel.
Yes.
And I say channels because Alpha Males Podcast, Legion of Two, and then the one that doesn't actually exist yet, but hopefully will by the time this episode comes out, the Wrath Gang, which will be our skits channel. If you want to know Alpha Males Podcast
skits,
channel,
reactions, vlogs, all that.
Yeah. Live, and then Legion 2 is going to be gaming.
Yep.
If you don't care about any of that and you're just an audio listener, Just listen to us on the audio.
Listen to us. Also, all these things will be in the description below. I'm just copying PewDiePie. They will be in the description in either YouTube below or Spotify's, whatever it is. What do you call that in Spotify? Is it just a description?
I think so.
All right. It's not a bio or a bio.
Or biography.
People.
In the autobiography on Spotify.
Yeah. All of those guys' videos make me cry, by the way. You've got to check them out. They're very, very good.
Has a Call Me Kevin video.
I don't know if that's possible.
That's
so okay. The person that I cry with the absolute most, and yes, with is Jack. Jack's video, like so many. Undertale. I just said that I probably didn't cry in the wood thing that I just said, but I mean, like I kind of remember tearing up with him.
Yeah.
At least this is like my memory of that period of time, but not of really the game.
Yeah.
Like that
bad memory
comes across as weird, but also the indie games that he played. I remember when he played My Dragon. I can't remember exactly what the name was, but it was about the kid who had cancer.
I watched Mark play that.
It was such a sad and Jack's playthrough especially because he started talking about how he'd lost his grandma in a similar way, and he was I don't want to divulge on his story. Go and watch his video if you want to know more about that. I think it's My Dragon Cancer or something along those lines.
I'm sure you could find it pretty
easily.
It's Jack the guy.
It was heart-wrenching. It was really good.
Genuinely, I think I cried from laughter from a bunch of comedy videos. Like
I
genuinely. He doesn't really do anything sad.
Yeah. I know I've cried with laughter because Danny Boy from I can't remember, was that Gmod? I don't know what game that is. Like Army. So,
yeah.
That made me like ball. It was so funny.
Yeah.
And Danny contributed, this random guy who would come into the game and was just
so mad,
trying so hard to be good to the RP, but at the same time was just
Kevin is just annoying.
And Kevin had the ability to just take his rank and be a total jerk. And it was so funny throughout the whole thing. I realize that description doesn't make it sound funny at all. It just sounds like a bully.
Yeah, it's very good.
And he is, but it's also hilarious.
Kevin.
Yeah.
He is my favorite YouTuber. A YouTuber that
we gotta support the small guys. So, go ahead and watch him.
We're reaching out. We have 3 channels.
Yeah.
He also has 3 channels. He has his main channel, his stream
Live
archives, and then his stream highlights, which he doesn't upload to anymore. RIP. But I think I've cried with Venturian Tale because I was obsessed with Venturian Tale. They started, and I think they started like 2014, 2013. I think I was early on the Venturian Tale channel. I think I watched them throughout high school, through like 2016. And I was obsessed with them. And I think I probably cried in a couple of the Skyrim Tale videos.
Really?
Maybe some of the Fallout videos. He always built up his characters, and he added mods and stuff, and he made like Lydia is just a normal like companion.
Yeah.
But like he had a mod that made it like his companions never die and stuff to make it easier. And for some reason Lydia died.
Okay.
And he just couldn't bring her back.
Oh.
And I remember like crying at that.
Wow.
That got me. And then I think
that's really cool to take a character that you wouldn't normally cry about, and he made it so
if I was playing Skyrim and she died, I'd be like,
yeah,
I have to get a companion.
That's adding that's what a Let's Play should be, adding so much value.
Yeah,
to a game,
what I always like
experience
about Venturian is he adds story within the story.
Right.
Like, he has a whole backstory for his character, and like he comes up with like things that like they would never show up in the game.
Yeah.
And I would never think about. But then I'm like, oh, this character means this much now.
Yeah.
Thinks this way.
Yeah.
Because of him. And so I think I cried then. I probably cried at the end of Skyrim.
Just because it was ending, or
yeah.
Okay.
I think Fallout, he had like 100th episode special. and he did. I don't remember what it was, but I remember being longer, and it included the fans and stuff like that, and that made me emotional. I was
Yeah.
like, this is very well done.
Yeah.
So I think I've cried at his videos.
I've cried at a lot of endings of things, like
Yeah.
you mentioned, because and I know you're not gonna like this, but anime very often. I watch a lot of anime. I've watched many of those like 12 episode things where that's like the whole series, or at least maybe they have a couple seasons and they're like 24 episodes, especially the long ones actually. But it ends, and you know that those characters you're never gonna see again.
Yeah.
You know, it's like they're dying to you
Yeah.
in a sense. Even if you're leaving them off on
Yeah,
like a
yeah.
good point or anything like that, it's like, but I've been with you for so long.
You
And
are
I'm so
not coming
sad.
back.
Um,
Did any of the DC shows? I feel like I cried at the Flash musical. I just don't remember why. I remember loving the musical though.
I remember the Arrow has a lot of sad
Yeah.
parts.
I think I do remember tearing up, but I genuinely could not tell you why.
Yeah,
I couldn't tell you.
I couldn't tell you why either. Why
feel
you
like-
teared up?
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't.
No, I'm asking.
Okay.
Why did I tear up?
I couldn't tell you.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Other than that, like, I think Flash also had points.
I just can't remember though. I know we've had like character deaths, for example, that were impactful. Like every time
Harrison.
the Harry's died has been sad,
I feel like
but not
he's
to the
got me
point
the
of
most.
yeah.
Even though, like, I know he's coming back because he's like the
Yeah.
best character.
Whimsical Harry dying might have. I just don't
Yeah.
remember if I did.
Yeah, I feel like Cisco,
Spoilers.
like reacting to Harry dying probably got
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
Him and Harry were close.
Mhm.
But I'm also not caught up on any of those shows, so I
There
know
could very well be
I-
a hidden gem in there.
Yeah.
The newer seasons where
I
we
bet-
would just
I bet if we kept up with Arrow, because it's over now,
yeah.
that would have got me.
Yeah.
Even if, I mean, I'm probably going to catch up. I don't know if it'll be the same.
So if Flash is continuing past that though, then are they doing crossovers still?
I don't know. I don't know how they hung up like Oliver Queen. I don't.
It makes me
think they
sad
killed
just
him.
thinking that that's done now though, even though I didn't finish it myself.
Yeah,
But I will go back someday, and I know I'm going to be depressed.
yeah,
Because again, that's one of those things where you've had like that's like hundreds of episodes at that point, right?
So many.
With these sets of characters, and they're
And
done after that point.
It sucks for Arrow because it did kind of go downhill.
Yeah.
But like a lot of shows do that.
Yeah.
Not every show.
Yeah. A lot of, I mean, even the best shows that like Game of Thrones, one of the most renowned and loved shows of just all time. Last season, people just hated that thing.
Yeah.
The Walking Dead.
After one episode,
in our high school, people wouldn't shut up about it.
Yeah.
And I got to like season 4 or something like that when I was sick. I loved the show. It just got tired.
He has a poster.
Not sure what else.
Still.
Yeah, I still have the poster because it was a good gosh darn show, but it's monotonous and
Something that has made me cry, and I started rewatching it. Like the TV show Psych.
it's like
It's such a funny show, but there's been like really dramatic episodes that like have humor throughout. Like like it doesn't change the way the show feels until some parts, and then you're like, oh, not what I expected. But it's gonna sound bad. No, maybe it wasn't. I was gonna say the Psych the musical got me.
a lot of musicals here.
Yeah, but maybe it didn't. I just remembered like the musical had like a big plot point in it that changed the show a little bit. And I think someone died.
Okay.
And but no, it was a serial killer who died.
You were so sad.
I was so sad. But like,
Very
it's so
distressed.
funny. The
You saw
way they
yourself in
handle the
him.
serial killer. It's
Yeah.
girl, actually. The way they
You
handle
saw
the serial
yourself in her.
killer is so funny because it's like he's trying to kill Sean's mom, not
Mom, I didn't know.
and then they lock her up in an insane asylum, right?
Mom.
And then
Mom.
Oh, that made me cry. But then like they need her eventually because they do like every when they first introduced her, the next season they have another episode based around her and then her partner, and then they have another episode and then she dies in the musical. Spoiler alert. But like the way they handle her is so funny because she is trying to kill a character's mom, and then it's like, "Hey, come on, we need your help." And Sean is like, "Yeah, come on, I forgive you. Let's go." It's so weird. No, it doesn't. But yeah, that show I feel like has made me cry. It's also one of my all-time favorite shows. So when it ended, I think I got emotional.
Yeah.
Even though they've made two
Yeah,
movies.
it's done, right?
Yeah, well, they've made two movies, and I've watched one of them. The other's on Peacock Plus, which
Peacock Plus.
Yeah, or no, it's not called. It's just called Peacock, actually.
Disney Plus just makes you think.
Yeah, because Discovery has Discovery Plus.
Okay.
So a lot of shows.
Hulu Plus, I think.
Maybe.
Probably.
Say it. But yeah, there was something. Oh man, I had another one. I can't remember.
I also just had another one, and I can't remember.
I said Jurassic Park didn't make me cry. Jurassic Park 1, 2, or 3 didn't make me cry. Jurassic World. I got a little sad because the Velociraptors died. Jurassic Park. What's it called? The second one. I know you don't know. Audio listeners.
Jurassic Park, the second one.
Jurassic World, the second one. Fallen Kingdom. It's all about, spoiler alert, the island has a volcano. The volcano is blowing up. They're trying to save some dinosaurs. Some people don't want to save them. Some people do. The people who don't want to save them get tricked to going into the island, and they get there and they save like a few. They're not trying to, but there's a point where like they're in the water and they look back at a Brachiosaurus, which is the first dinosaur you see in the whole Jurassic series, and like it's like head is above, like you see the lava flowing down, its head is above the ash, and it's the CGI is so well done, and it's just like, wow, that whole island of living creatures, they're all dead, they're extinct, and that's it.
Yeah.
And then the movie ends it with them exploring the real world, but that's a really sad part. But
and you didn't even like that movie for the most part,
movie.
Right? Yeah.
It's such a bad movie, but like
that part's so bad.
The only good thing about that movie is the dinosaurs. Like that's it.
Speaking of dinosaurs, Land Before Time. How can we forget?
No. The Iron Giant.
I don't think, did I ever watch it?
Oh, it's such a good cartoon. It's so happy, and then the end is so sad. Like, the Iron Giant sacrifices himself. He's like, I'm Superman.
Yeah.
And then, like...
I'm complaining about, like, a 15-year-old movie getting spoiled. Meanwhile, for you guys, it's
Last
like,
of Us
if
2.
you haven't seen this game from last year.
But yeah, no, Iron Giant wrecks me.
Yeah.
That's a good one. I love that movie. Toy Story?
Watch that. Toy Story. I don't know if Toy Story ever made me cry.
What?
Then again, it's been a very long time since I watched it. Mr. Potato Head becoming Potato Head, that made me cry.
That made me cry.
Saddest moments.
Saddest moment in human history.
Do you think there's going to be another Toy Story?
What? No.
Do you think there's no? You think that's
after Toy Story 4, I feel like they should wrap it up. Also, it's for
with another movie.
Yes, you're right. It's about time they start wrapping it up.
Yep.
2 more movies.
Maybe a trilogy.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if there's any other movies. I genuinely, coming into this podcast, I thought we were going to talk about crying in media for like 30 minutes, and then we were going to branch off into another topic, which we totally did.
Yeah.
But I didn't expect us to keep coming back.
To
the topic of the podcast.
Wow, good job, Oz.
That's so weird. I've never wanted to do that, and I don't do it. So, how you guys like Fortnite? in the
That
club
makes
right
me
now.
cry.
Oh no.
No. We've got
That
that
makes
song
me
stuck in
cry.
our
You know
head
what?
literally all
Yeah,
day.
yeah.
I'm crying. Stop it.
10 kills on the floor, right? 10 kills on the board
Oh
right
God, you
now.
don't know it.
Just wiped out Tomato
Guys, we have a
Town.
story that'll make you cry
It made
also.
us cry.
Okay? We were playing some normal frisbee outside
No, it
today.
wasn't normal frisbee. It
It
was
was
super frisbee.
donut frisbee.
Frisbee with hole in the middle, so fly further for some reason.
And we were just having a grand old time. And let me preface first. First of all, we were going to film our little skit,
We did.
and we weren't even playing at this point, but Robbie kicked the frisbee into a small tree.
Yeah, I
right?
literally picked it up with my foot and like flung it.
Yeah.
I didn't expect it to fly all the way to the tree.
But it right onto a branch.
Got
Like
stuck.
he would have gotten 100 points for that one.
Yeah.
Especially with his foot. So we end up meandering it and trying to figure out how to get it down, and we decide to just throw things at it and use dull machetes, and at some
Yeah,
point
smart,
something
smart,
worked.
Wait, no, but it didn't work. Remember it? I hit it.
Yeah.
And it fell onto
And it
another
fell
branch.
onto another
And then the
branch.
branch, it like wrapped around
Yeah.
a branch. So it was
Mhm.
actually secure. Like the
Mhm.
first time, it was
Those
just,
are
it just-
double points
Yeah,
sorts
yeah,
of
yeah,
volume. And so one of us had to get on the ladder, I believe. Not the ladder, but a chair to get it off.
Yeah.
And we did that. So, small tree conquered. And so, after we film our skit,
We're cleaning
a
up.
few minutes later, we're cleaning up, and we discover the frisbee again. Because we'd actually thrown it away. I'm bad at telling stories, but we'd thrown it away. It's like the middle of the yard after that first point, and we rediscovered it, and we were like, "Yo, why do a podcast when we can play more frisbee?"
Yeah. Which was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun until I threw the frisbee again, totally in his direction, and he blew it up further until it went straight onto the top of this massive tree.
No, it's funnier though. Like the legit way it happened is we were like, all right, let's pick up the rest of the tools and put them away so we can do our podcast. And Sean's like, okay, I'll throw it the direction we need to go in, not towards the woods. And then he throws it. It goes up into a tree and lands at the top. And I just
perfect
literally
form.
like I got on the ground and I was laughing so hard I was crying.
And yeah, perfect. But
Yeah,
we were like, you know what? We're solution makers. We need to find a way to get that down, and we can't once again use crappy sticks throwing it at it to get it out of the tree. That's not going to work. It's too high up. This tree is too massive. So we go to his like little playpen in his yard. I don't know what to call that.
For me.
Yeah, it's his playpen. And we find a couple of soccer balls. Two
That way
soccer
we
balls
can both be throwing them up
at the same time.
It's
getting it up there.
the frisbee is high enough where you have to put a little bit of effort
Right.
into throwing it, or you won't reach it.
Yep.
But it's also high enough where like it's kind of hard to aim.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay.
So we were getting some good MLG hits on it.
Yeah. It started like, it teetered and fell on, like, didn't fall, but like positions itself a little bit better. And we're like, we're so close.
We're doing amazing here.
So we were throwing from one direction.
It's good, man.
That's Big Time Rush. But so I went to behind it because we were teetering it one way and it was like angled. So I wanted to go behind it and hit it from the back. And I missed.
He chucks it.
I chuck it.
Woo! And it doesn't drop anymore.
It literally, like, we kept getting it like to ping pong off all the branches, and it would look like it would get stuck.
Yep.
And so this time I like launch it. I missed.
Actually, I don't think so. The ping ponging kind of happened before the first one, but during the second ball, it happened over
so much
and over again.
Yeah. So like I threw up this one, and it goes to like the top above the frisbee, and then just like lodges itself in the
Yes.
branches.
Reminder. It is above the frisbee now. We've found a higher place on the tree to lose something.
Yeah. And so we're like, well, we have one soccer ball. It's probably easier to get the frisbee out with a soccer ball. So we aim for both the frisbee and the soccer ball. Whichever one we hit and get out is helpful. Because if we get the frisbee out, we've been successful. We get the soccer ball out, we can get the frisbee out.
Yes.
And so we keep like alternating who's throwing it up. And like you said, it's ping pong.
Yeah.
And like it'll like they're not inflated all the way. So it'll hit a branch and like freeze for a second and then roll down. Yeah. And you're sitting there like holding your breath. Like
it's literally gambling.
Yeah.
You're just waiting for the wrong or the right thing to happen. You're hoping you're gonna win 100 and not lose 1,000 in the process.
Exactly.
And we lost 1,000.
We lost 1,000.
We didn't. 2,000. In fairness, we knocked the other ball down a peg and replaced it with the new ball, which is now stuck in the original ball's position. But thankfully, the old ball is now with the frisbee.
Yeah, it's next to the
frisbee on this massive tree. And we're out of balls now.
We have more, to be fair. We could do it.
Yeah. But you'd have a lot of balls in the tree after if you were to do that.
Imagine we take more out there. It literally was the funniest thing I've ever seen. Just how we got a frisbee and then 2 soccer balls stuck in the tree surprises me. Like we couldn't even if we got one soccer ball stuck but got the frisbee and the other ball down, I would have been like, wow, that's pretty weird.
Yeah.
But all of them,
every single one, all of our play, mind you, I say I was having fun while trying to get the frisbee down
it was fun.
with the ball. So the lesson here is to not have fun. Otherwise, you will lose your 2 soccer balls and 1 circle frisbee to a tree.
To be now, where I live, we have a lot of like open land. And this frisbee, I've taken it to a football field. No, a baseball field. And I threw it from third base to right field. I've hit the wall.
That's far, probably.
It's very far. And because this frisbee, it's designed smartly. Those educated people designed it. And you can just like lightly throw it and it goes the length of like if you throw a regular frisbee as hard as you can. So if you throw this as hard as you can, it's gonna fly.
Yeah.
And to be fair, this is like the second one I've owned because my cousin and I would play this all the time, and we would be at opposite sides of our land,
which is big.
Throwing them back.
You're talking acres of land.
Yeah, and we would throw them back and forth, right? And it's a lot of fun to chase after it because you have to it doesn't fly like a regular frisbee. It'll go up randomly.
Yeah.
And then you have to
literally
compensate.
Dodged me once.
Yeah, it just didn't like it. It came right to him, and then whoa.
There was nothing there to do. There wasn't even air. It just decided,
nope. You don't want to catch me. So my cousin once threw it over our neighbor's fence, and the fences are like wire fences, so it's not like you can just jump it because you'll break it. And so we were trying to get it, and we never did. And then we went back the next day, and it was gone. I don't know, if they just were oh, a frisbee, and then didn't think it was the neighbor right next door whose fence it's right next to.
Yeah,
but
I don't know.
Or maybe they tried to throw it back into our yard, and it flew across our entire yard and just kept going. So I don't know.
It got stuck in the same tree, doesn't it? Hidden place.
Yeah. And I believe in that same tree. The first time I used the boomerang, because we bought a 3 kit. The big one we were using. There's a smaller one that doesn't fly as far, but it's a lot of fun. And then a boomerang. I believe I got the boomerang stuck in that tree.
Ah, I see.
So
gosh darn culprit that is.
Yeah, I'll go out there. I'm sure, they're not secure in the tree. I'm sure winds and rain will knock it down easily.
I hope so. I feel bad about that.
Yeah, but
I was wondering before. I literally asked the question. I'm like, why don't they just make frisbees like this with a hole in the middle? Well, There's probably good reasons.
Yeah. Even
Probably
though
wouldn't be
getting
the
stuck
tree.
in the big tree,
And the
it
big
would have
tree is
got
probably going to
stuck, but
happen
you
either
wouldn't
way.
have thrown it
Yeah.
that far.
But then also on at least the first one, it wouldn't have been hanging like that. It would have just bounced off.
Yeah, for sure. It would. I do want to get the frisbee down. My goal, I want to go to like a park.
Yeah.
I think Umatilla has a park that is huge,
Mhm.
like with like 4 football fields in a row
Yeah.
or something. And I just want to see
And
how
no
far we can
trees.
throw it. No trees.
Big plus.
I just want to know how far we can throw it.
Yeah.
So if we get that down, I want to do that.
So leave a like if that story made you cry.
Yeah, it made me cry.
That's
Both
emotional.
sad and happy cry.
Mhm.
Fortnite. Sorry, Fortnite song got in my head again.
But I guess
That's a good time to end.
that's all that I cried. That's about it.
I've never cried actually. All
Yeah,
this
these were
was made
lies.
up. Thank you guys.
We
for
just wanted
watching.
you guys to, I don't know,
Sympathize.
try to relate to
All of
to
these were
something like
lies.
that.
We just tried to get you to sympathize.
And we didn't have any fries to buy your lives.
Your lies. Why are you lying? All right. Well, thank you
Thank
guys
you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoy it. Did you enjoy the in-person format? I think it was pretty good.
I don't.
I mean, Jerome was here.
Yeah, I
the
do
whole
actually.
time,
I was petting
so-
him the whole time.
Yeah, I know. I can see.
It's just so nice. He's so comfortable. But yeah, thank you guys.
So yeah, thanks guys so much.
Keep
Like,
watching, subscribe,
Yeah.
follow,
share with friends,
share,
all that different stuff. We're
listen.
trying to be good YouTubers, all right? We
Yeah,
got to tell you all this stuff.
podcast people. Look at the
Yeah.
microphone. Keep listening. Leave us a rating on Apple.
Mhm. We love that platform.
Yeah. Follow on Spotify,
Follow on
share
Spotify.
everywhere.
Yeah,
Thank
everything
you.
that you can. Maybe donate to our Patreon.
Yeah.
I
Just
don't
the
know.
audio.
What do patrons get? Did we set
Shout
that
out?
up? Yeah,
I
we'll
think we said-
we'll shout you out. We will send you socks.
I think we said that
Send you.
so many times.
Yeah.
But thank you for listening,
so
watching.
much.
Bye.
Bye.